My name is Oliver. And if you had met me a few years ago, you wouldn't recognize the man speaking to you now. People used to call me calm, gentle, patient, someone who gave others the benefit of the doubt. But all it takes is one betrayal, one moment when your world collapses, to reveal what you're really made of. I used to believe prayer was a last resort for desperate people. But when my life fell apart, when revenge wrapped around my heart like chains, when anger threatened to own me, I discovered that prayer wasn't soft. It was war. Tonight I want to take you into the darkest season of my life. The season when I lost everything I trusted, and found the God I ignored for years. This is the story of the battles no one sees, the wounds we hide, the fights we wage in silence, and how prayer became the weapon that changed my life. I grew up in a small rural town where everybody knew everybody. People waved at each other from porches. They brought food when someone got sick. We believed in second chances, morning coffee, and handshakes that sealed promises. So when I decided to start a construction business, I partnered with someone I trusted like family. My childhood friend, Marcus. We were nothing alike. He was loud, I was calm. He lived fast, I lived steady. He had charm, I had discipline. But somehow, we worked well together. Two young dreamers, building houses during the week and dreaming bigger every weekend. Our motto was always the same. If one rises, both rise. I truly believe that. Business started slow, but eventually the jobs came. We built decks, renovated kitchens, repaired storm damage. People loved our work. Clients began recommending us everywhere. Soon enough, we weren't the small-town rookies anymore. We were known. But success has a strange way of magnifying what's already inside a person. And while I carried gratitude, Marcus carried hunger. The dangerous kind. I remember the first time something felt wrong. We were working on a lake house renovation for a wealthy client. It was our biggest project yet. Life-changing money. One afternoon, I found Marcus in the garage speaking on the phone in a low voice. He said, "No, Oliver won't know. He never checks the transfer statements." He didn't see me. I didn't say anything. I told myself I misunderstood. I told myself we were brothers. He'd never betray me. But deep inside, something quietly snapped. A hairline fracture in trust. I wish I had confronted it then. Maybe things would have been different. Maybe the war inside me wouldn't have grown so loud. But I ignored the whisper. That was my mistake. 3 months passed. Business looked good, projects flowed steadily. But then, the messages started. A client claiming they had paid for materials twice. Another demanding a refund for work they said I refused to finish. A supplier accusing me of delaying payments intentionally. At first, I thought it was a misunderstanding. Until the morning everything unraveled. I woke up to 36 missed calls and 11 angry voicemails. People I'd never met shouting that I had scammed them. That I was a thief. I confronted Marcus immediately. I remember standing in his driveway, trembling with confusion and anger. I said, "Marcus, what's going on? People are saying we took money and ran. You talked to them, right?" He didn't look panicked. He didn't look worried. He smirked. That smirk felt like someone twisting a knife right into my spine. He shrugged and said, "I told them the truth. You took the money, Ollie. You should have handled it better." For a moment, the world stopped. Like sound had been sucked out of the air. Then I whispered, "You set me up?" And he laughed. Actually laughed. This deep, unbothered, almost amused laugh. He said, "You were holding me back. I needed a way out. This was easier. Easier." I can't describe what I felt at that moment. It wasn't anger. Not yet. It was disbelief so sharp it burned. But disbelief turned into something darker. When I checked our company account and saw the withdrawals, the forged signatures, fabricated invoices, thousands gone, My name stamped across every fraudulent transaction. And Marcus. He had already opened a new company. New office. New staff. Clients transferred to him. All while I was left to drown. My reputation shattered overnight. No one wanted to hire me. Suppliers refused credit. I woke up each day to new accusations. Even my employees, people I treated like family, walked out. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw someone broken. A failure. A man stabbed by the person he trusted most. The worst part wasn't even the betrayal. It was how the whole town believed him. Whispers followed me everywhere. At the grocery store, at church, at the gas station. I started avoiding people altogether. Closing the curtains. Letting calls go unanswered. And that's when something inside me shifted. The pain began turning into anger. Dark, consuming anger. I started fantasizing about revenge. About exposing him. Humiliating him. Destroying him piece by piece. I told myself it was justice. But deep inside, it was hatred. Pure hatred. I lost sleep. Lost weight. Lost peace. I became a prisoner in my own home. A man rehearsing revenge in the dark. There was one night. A night I will never forget. I had just received a letter from an attorney. Marcus had filed a lawsuit against me. For breach of contract. Malpractice. And defamation. It was surreal. The thief accusing the victim. I felt my chest tighten. My breathing shortened. My hands shook so violently I almost dropped the papers. I fell to the floor. Not from weakness, but from the weight of everything collapsing at once. And for the first time in years, I prayed. Not gently. Not poetically. I cried out. God, if you're there, please help me. I can't do this anymore. It wasn't a holy prayer. It was a terrified one. But it was real. And God meets people in real places. The next morning, I heard a knock on my door. Slow, deliberate knocking. Not the angry pounding I had grown accustomed to. When I opened it, I found Mr. Ramos, a retired lawyer who lived 2 houses down. A quiet man. Always sweeping his porch at sunrise. He said, "Oliver, you've been on my mind. I couldn't sleep last night. Something told me to talk to you." I didn't know what to say. I just handed him the lawsuit papers silently. He read them carefully, his eyebrows lowering with every line. Then he looked at me and said, "Do you trust me?" And I whispered, "Right now, you're the only person I can." He nodded once and said, "Then let's fight this." What happened next felt like watching God quietly rebuild my life piece by piece. Mr. Ramos spent days going through every document, email, contract, bank statement. Things I was too emotionally exhausted to even look at anymore. One afternoon, he showed up at my house with a binder thicker than my arm. He placed it on my table and said, "Oliver, your partner wasn't careful. He left everything behind. Evidence of forged signatures. Manipulated spreadsheets. False client reports. Payments rerouted to his private account. The truth was right there. Hidden but undeniable." I sat there staring at the pages. My heart pounding. My hands trembling. For the first time since the betrayal, I felt hope. But with that hope came something unexpected. The bitterness inside me began cracking. Every night I prayed again. Honestly. Desperately. Sometimes through tears. I didn't just pray for justice. I prayed for peace. Clarity. Strength. And slowly, something shifted. Revenge stopped feeling satisfying. It started feeling empty. I realized Marcus may have attacked my reputation, my work, my stability. But I had attacked myself far worse, by letting hatred own me. There was a moment, a quiet, sacred moment, that changed everything. I was sitting alone in my living room late at night. The only light came from the small lamp beside me. The binder of evidence lay open on the coffee table. I whispered, God, I'm scared. I don't want to hate anymore. Please fix whatever's broken inside me. And I felt it. A warmth in my chest. Like someone placing a hand over my heart. A calm I hadn't felt in weeks. A whisper, not audible, but undeniable. Let me fight for you. It didn't erase the pain. It didn't magically fix everything. But suddenly I knew I didn't have to fight alone. From that day on, I prayed every morning. Every night. Before every meeting. Before every legal discussion. I prayed when I was afraid. I prayed when I was angry. I prayed when I didn't know what to do. Prayer didn't change my circumstances immediately. But it changed me. It steadied me. Calmed me. Guided me. And when the day of the hearing came, I walked into that courtroom not as a broken man, but as a man backed by God. The courtroom was cold, silent, intimidating. Marcus sat at his table, looking confident, smirking the same smirk that once shattered me. I felt the old anger try to rise, but I breathed deeply, and whispered a short prayer in my heart. God, go before me. Then the hearing began. Mr. Ramos presented everything. Methodically, clearly, powerfully. Every lie Marcus told became exposed. Every hidden file revealed. Every forged signature traced back to him. I watched his confidence drain from his face. His smirk disappeared. His hands shook. His eyes darted nervously around the room. At one point, he looked at me. Not with arrogance, but with fear. By the end of the hearing, the truth was undeniable. The judge dismissed his lawsuit, placed full responsibility on him, ordered restitution, launched an investigation into his new company. The man who tried to destroy me fell into the pit he dug for me. But here's the miracle. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt free. Not because Marcus fell, but because hatred no longer held me. God had fought the battle I couldn't. As I walked out of the courtroom, Marcus hurried behind me. I could hear his shoes tapping urgently against the floor. He called out, Oliver! I turned. His face was pale. His voice shaky. All the arrogance, gone. He said, I don't get it. You should have destroyed me. You could have fed the fire. Why didn't you? I looked at him and answered, because revenge wasn't mine to take. He swallowed hard. His eyes suddenly wet. Then he whispered, I thought you'd stay down forever. And I said, I got up because God pulled me up. He stared at the ground, as if realizing for the first time what he had become. I walked away. Not in anger, but in peace. That was the real triumph. Life didn't go back to normal overnight. Rebuilding my reputation took time. Rebuilding my business took patience. Rebuilding my heart took prayer. But month after month, God restored everything I had lost. And more. New clients came. Better opportunities opened. People who once avoided me apologized. Some even asked how I stayed standing. And I always said the same thing. It wasn't me. Prayer carried me. Today, when I look back at that season, I don't feel bitterness. I feel gratitude. Because the betrayal that broke me also rebuilt me. The man I became through prayer is stronger, calmer, wiser, and I carry this truth with me. Sometimes God allows unseen battles so we can discover His unseen strength. I'm Oliver, and prayer didn't just change my life. It saved it. If you're fighting your own unseen battles, don't fight them alone. Let God step into the spaces where your strength runs out. If this story moved you, if it gave you hope or reminded you that you're not alone, like this video, share it with someone who needs strength today. And subscribe for more stories of faith, redemption, and victory. Because battles are real. But so is God.